I would like to ask a question of everybody. With the show of hands, who here was born in a hospital? I wasn't. I was born in a moving car on a hot Miami afternoon. My mom couldn't make it to the hospital in time to have me. I came out like a rocket, ready to face the world. Urgent, determined, unwilling to wait. My mother fainted from the pain. There was so much blood that people thought something terrible had happened. Can you imagine that? My life was in torment from the very beginning. From my very first breath, love and survival intertwined. I almost died, and my mom was also at risk. You see, from the very beginning, the world tried to shake us, but all that it did was teach us to stand and to love harder. An unbreakable bond was formed that day, and we're still attached at the hip. Love is more than just an emotion. Love is action. Love is doing whatever it takes to save what matters. And also, love has a shadow, and that shadow is betrayal. And betrayal cuts deep. You see, I was 14 years old, another hot sunny day. I was on my way to work, skipping and singing. I was working at a church. The place where I was walking into was meant to be a place of healing. I was working so hard that day, and I sat down to take a break. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned, expecting to find kindness, but what I found broke my heart in two. He sexually abused me that day. I felt filthy. I felt ashamed, wounded in a way that no one can see, but I felt it every time that I breathed. An invisible wound that took years to name and even longer to heal. You see, forgiveness, I learned something very powerful about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about approval. Forgiveness is about freedom. It's cutting the chain between who hurt you and who you're becoming. Later in life, I stayed into a 3-year relationship that turned into a nightmare. The man that I thought that I loved, he turned into somebody unrecognizable. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict. He broke my heart in two as well. When I finally left him, freedom came with a twist. I broke my ankle. I spent a year on crutches. And then finally, I gained so much weight and I lost myself all over again. Then came the hardest storms of all. Not the ones that were done to my body, but the ones that was done in my mind. 30 years of trauma replaying on a loop. Mental torment so loud that it convinced me that death might be quieter. I wanted to die, and yet I am standing here. I thank God for healing me. Next in my life, What saved me was not forgetting, it was forgiving. You see, I learned something very important. Forgiveness is not about approval, it's about freedom. It cuts the chains between who you are, who hurt you, and the person that you're becoming. Because when anger echoes long enough, it becomes belief, and belief shapes our world. With love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self control, we can make this world a better place to live. And we can love each other more. Next. This is where Egypt enters my story. You see, this is my first time in Egypt, but it won't be my last. Because Egypt taught me something I did not expect. Sacred artifacts taken, monuments destroyed, centuries of foreign rule. But Egypt did not become bitter. Egypt did not erase the world. Egypt did not rebuild its identity around resentment. Instead, Egypt endured. It remembered without hating. It preserved without forgetting the future, punishing the future for the past. What we learn from Egypt is that forgiveness is not weakness, it is longevity. Next. It is longevity. Egypt teaches us that love and forgiveness intertwine. And what we learn from Egypt is so special. Here are three truths I want you to remember. Love can rebuild what was broken. You can learn to love again. You can learn to love well. Number two, forgiveness frees you from your past. Cutting the chain gives you your future back. And resilience begins when you accept who you are. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to endure and to shine. Egypt teaches us this. You can bend without breaking. You can remember without hating. And you can forgive without forgetting who you are. You were born to love, to forgive, to endure storms, and still become something magnificent. Because love and forgiveness will ignite the resilient heart. Thank you.